Sammy,
Hey,
Elevation
Parks.
Nation, we're back. It's been a while. Not too long, but a while.
It has been. It's been a little bit of a crazy couple weeks for us, and you know, normally I'd be very disappointed that we missed some weeks and we don't have as many interviews and we didn't get as much momentum. But I also think we have to remember that we're human, and life has free time, and then your free time goes away, and your priorities shift, and your attention gets directed elsewhere. And I think we certainly had our attention in other more meaningful places the past few weeks, and there's nothing wrong with that. So that's the truth of the matter, Elevation Nation. Sorry if you missed us, but we are back, and we're excited to be here. We got some really cool interviews coming up.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere. It wasn't that we are like, oh, we're done. I don't know. Maybe it's just in our head that people might think that we're done, but we're not. Don't worry. I'm not worried. Sam's not worried. Well, maybe Sam's worried. I don't know. Sometimes he worries. Sometimes he doesn't. But you wouldn't know, Elevation Nation. I would know, because Sam worries to me, and it seems like only me, and maybe his mom. But his mom knows how to handle him better than I do, I guess.
I mean, you're equally as painful, my friend. You just complain in different ways. So that's what makes friendship beautiful. You lean on each other. You help each other out. You grow. And I think we definitely leaned on each other the past few weeks. It's been an emotional few weeks. It's been difficult. And I'm very grateful to have your friendship and the friendship of many of our friends throughout this whole thing.
Yeah. No, it's been a lot going on in the last 2 weeks or so. I mean, just life, honestly, just it's hard to put into words. Unfortunately, we had a very close friend pass away, and I had a coworker pass away, and it's been hard to put into thought. It's been hard to put into words, and we've had time to reflect and to be there for their loved ones and ourselves, and it's just challenging to put into thought because, these were two young people, and I don't think there's a answer for it at all. But certainly the way I have thought about all of this is that it helps me gain a better understanding and perspective on what really matters. And I think at the end of the day, there aren't many things that really matter. The things that really matter are the ones you love, your family, your health, and living life to the fullest every day. And as cliche as it is, I'm going to just say that because it really, truly is. Because just at the snap of a finger, it can all change. Whenever. Like anytime. And that's the thing that I've really had to come to terms with. That any single moment, it can all change. And we take that for granted every day. And we're reminded by certain times in our lives like this. And it's tough. It's tough. It's really tough. So that's how I'm feeling right now, a week after all of this has transpired.
I think it's really well said. There's been a lot of emotions the past 2 weeks. And I don't think there's I think a lot of times with life and with Elevation Nation, we're trying to search for an answer. I don't really think there is. Because to your point, Parker, we say live life to the fullest. What are you doing today? You're with your family in Florida. I'd say that's an amazing way to take advantage of your time. But you're also spending the majority of your time working. And maybe that's the fullest to you. And I think sometimes we say live life to the fullest, and that's the thing that we have to change and we have to start living differently. It's is it living differently in your actions, or is it changing your mindset about each day?
I don't know. It's tough. I mean, it's The hard part is like you want to like hit those big goals. You want to like think about a work thing, right? Like you want to become this, and you have to put in the time and the effort, and maybe that's not worth in the moment, but you're giving up what the moment so that in the future you can be in a better place. But I'm also in the school of thought. I'm thinking like screw where we want to go. Let's just live our lives in the moment by our values, by what we care about. And I truly think that if you live in the moment, not worrying about the future, maybe even the past, because we can't really control it. We have no thought about it. Then if we're living our values, then the things that we want to eventually come our way will come. That's the way I think about it. And then I've also had this thought, Sam, like really deeply about, in life, I think just by human nature, we think there's order to everything that we do. There's order to the day because we humans created this concept of time, right? The day ends and the next day starts, and we're just part of that. There's order because our workday starts and our workday ends. We're supposed to follow rules because there's rules put in place to make the world safer and better. And we think that there's order in everything that we do, when actually I am under the impression that we take that for granted so much because everything in every day is completely random. And there really is no order to anything that happens. We think that there is. Random things. You could be driving your car on the road and then all of a sudden your wheel pops. You couldn't have planned for that, or maybe you could have, but it just happens. Life is random. Things just happen. You can, wake up one morning and feel like crap. Random. You could take all the supplements in the entire world and whatever, boom, wake up one day and just feel like shit. Yeah. And as a human, we think that there is a reasoning and purpose.
Isn't that the whole point of religion, right? Like,
yeah.
Wasn't it to try to find purpose and reason behind like the unknown?
Completely agree with you. I just think that like we take it. I think we take it for granted. Is like we're reminded that no, life can be taken away like that instantly. There is no order to that. Yeah. There isn't. And that's the last week I've been thinking about that so much. And when you think about it, you might think about, like, as I'm elevation, if you're thinking about this right now, you'd be like, wow, Parker sounds depressing. But I actually think it's freeing. I think it's the complete opposite. Because then it's like, okay, if everything's random and there really isn't order to anything, then why not go out and try to do the best and make the best of every single day and enjoy everything? Because you literally have no idea what's going to happen in the next 30 seconds. So, yeah, that's where I'm at.
I mean, I would agree with you wholeheartedly that there's a lot of randomness in this world. We can debate this a different time, but I certainly am not a proponent of everything happens for a reason. And if some people think that, I personally don't. I don't think that there's a reason for everything. I think that assumes that there is a higher power making a decision on one way or another, where I kind of want to control my own mindset and my own thinking of where I want to go and how I want to live a day. And to your point, though, Parker, I mean, with there being so much uncertainty and chaos and unorder to things, why even go out and do things in the first place? Like, why not today? Did you not, and I'm being critical on you, but like I'm doing the same thing. Why did we not say, F it?
Oh, screw it. Let's go.
Let's
travel the world.
Take it. Like, what do we really want to do? And we've had people on who do that. Nikki Novoselsky is a perfect example of that. Like, she is crushing it, living her life, traveling, experiencing, living each day to the fullest, whether that's seeing a new culture, going to a new landmark, eating a new food, teaching yoga, working on her mindfulness, right? Like, she's trying to live every day in her 20s right now to the fullest. And yet we have these events happen to us, but like, is this our fullest day? Like,
I
is
don't know
this
if
where
it's-
we feel fullest? Working?
I don't know if
maybe
fullest is the right word, because I live some days to the fullest. Some days are shitty as anything, and I can't live life to the fullest.
Yeah.
I think she lives life to the freest. She is completely free. She is not tied to any job. She's not tied to any place. She's tied to her values, what she appreciates in the world, and the things that make her happy, the things that help her make a living. And she's built that all together. So she lives, I think, to the freest. You know, we live in a free country, right? We live free, but yeah, there's elements where, you know, we live in we work for a company where we have obligations. We have to show up. Yes, we're free, but we still have to show up so that we can pay our rent and care for ourselves and our loved ones and all of those things. But is that living to the freest? Like Nikki? I don't think so.
I want to live to the freest. That sounds great. Got to figure out how to get there, I guess. I have some ideas brewing that you know about.
Yeah, it makes you, things like this make you like really step back and be like, what really matters? And how many things in your life really just, why do I care so much about that? Why? Why do I spend so much time? For me, it's like, honestly, it's me sitting on my phone and just like looking and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And I'm like, this is a waste of goddamn time, as I'm wasting goddamn time.
I've been bad on my phone lately. Bad.
Because it's an easy kick, dopamine hit. And it's like,
an easy,
that's not free.
Break and distraction.
I don't feel free at all when I'm on the phone. I feel like I'm locked in. I'm consumed by something else.
I agree. I like that concept of living to the freest. I think that's interesting.
Maybe we make that the episode title today.
I think so. A lot of times we're exploring on Elevation Nation. You guys are hearing how Parker and my brain think through the struggles that we're going through in young adulthood. And it's funny, Parker, I actually kind of feel like you right now. I'm reading 2 hard copy paper books and 2 books on the Kindle right now because I've had so many recommendations be sent my way going through these past 2 weeks and doing a little bit of soul searching and trying to figure out what I want to do as Sam, as me. What do I want to do? What is my life going to look like? And so I will shout out, and we're going to do next week's episode on this topic when I am able to get through more than just the first chapter of the book last night. But I want to shout out elevator number 22, Jared Raisin. He and I were talking on the phone this weekend. Obviously, he knew about the hard week that we had, Parker, and he reached out. And we talked for about an hour about life. And, you know, Jared is a huge mentor of mine, a couple years older, successful businessman, and just really happy. And he said, you have to read this book. So, Parker, I'm going to tell you how it is. It's right over here.
Well, what's the book?
I'm getting it.
Oh, never mind. You're going to run and get it. I like that.
So you can see what it looks like. It's called Wanting.
Huh. That's funny, Sam. I already read that book. That was the last book I read.
Did you really?
Yeah, it's about mnemonic desire.
Fuck, really?
Yeah, I literally finished that like 3 weeks
Who told
ago.
you to read it?
I follow this guy on Twitter.
Come on, man.
He recommended it.
All right, well, we're going to do an episode
I guess
on
it's
it
a little
later
book
then.
club, Elevation Nation.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
We're always reading different books. Now we can finally read the same
But I'm
one.
glad he bought it.
Did you like it? I hope you liked it because I'm really enjoying it
I think
so
you'll
far.
find it. You'll find it good. You'll find it
Jared was
intriguing.
like, you have to read it.
There's
like,
a lot
it
of
is gonna
stories
change
in
your
it.
mindset right now.
A lot of stories. But the premises of the book is that everything we do in our entire lives is because something or something else is doing it, and we saw it that way. And so I'll leave it at that. But love Jared, and I think I just got to say, hug your loved ones, tell people you love them. And there's nothing more important than love, health, and doing the thing that makes you happy. So with that, Elevation Nation.
Until next week.
Peace.
Peace.